The goal of dating is to discover and share information before entering into a committed, devoted, and long-term relationship. Courtship is when couples decide to move into a deeper friendship and relationship, with marriage being the end goal. What do you consider the foundation of a good Christian dating and courtship? Stay tuned as we learn more on today's episode of the Marriage Classroom.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome again to our class, the Marriage Classroom, where we keep learning and we never stop learning, because learning is lifelong. And so we continue with our lessons. We've been looking at lessons that more looking at the young man, the young lady who is preparing or planning to get married. And so you realize the series of topics this time, it's only for those who are not married. And so I believe that the young people who have been watching us, and maybe a parent who is there also having a young person, you're benefiting, because it is going to help us as we start these relationships towards marriage, so that our marriage glorify God and they are for life. So today we are asking ourselves that crucial questions that I always hear young people asking: dating or courtship? The difference, are they the same? Are they different? So is it dating or courtship? And why are we asking this question? Because times have changed. And we hear these words, they're there. At our times, there was nothing like people at here dating or even that courtship. I want to give a case of us where we seemed to have gone against the traditions of the church or the practice at that time. I remember when I went to my pastor and told him that I have a friend, and I would want him, I would want to bring him to him so that he, I'm Jewish. And he's like, Jerry, what are these things you are telling me? Because I came to learn that it was not the lady who was to come and tell the pastor that I have a friend or a relationship. In fact, you're not even supposed to start a relationship. Before you go and tell the pastor, I think I'm ready. Then you are prayed for. Na unapea ruhusa kwenda kwa zizi. Ukibize kodoo, ukichika moja, unamletea. Sasa unamwambia, pastor nimeona, pengine akuulize, haraka hivyo. Mungu wa Yakobo amenionekania. Anyway, no, I did the opposite. I'm the one who went and told my pastor that I have a friend. And he's like, that was strange. And later he realized, I asked, how long have you been in the relationship? 2 years. He just said, because they never used to allow any relationship for more than 3 months. Once you say nimepata, unaanza kupangiwa harusi, because there was a fear that watu wataanguka or they will fall into temptation. Now you realize times have changed. So when I told him that we have been relating for 2 years, it's like, and now he started almost giving me counseling, in what do you call it? All of it. It's not, you are not supposed to be working together. You're not supposed to be together alone. Now 2 years already in a relationship, and he's like now trying to give me what you call crisis counseling, or how to counsel. So you realize times have changed. What I'm saying is, you may realize, as much as we may not want to say there is no dating, there would be a form of it. But this is what I want to say there, that when we talk about dating, though it's a alien word or an alien practice in the Christian circles, it is where we mean that is that stage of when people are in a romantic or a relationship where two people meet socially at the aim of either assessing the other's suitability to be a partner. So in a way, as we say, is where people say, can we be in a relationship? But they have not started saying, I want to be, to marry you. But now the problem is this. This is where people are, we are saying that two people are in a relationship and they are meeting at the aim of assessing each other. Whether they are suitable. You are assessing suitability. Now, this can be very risky. Because now, people are not just like a pair of jeans. You know, you are looking for the perfect pair of jeans or a trouser or guo. Unaenda unavai, nakaje, how do I look? And somebody tells you, you look like your Sijandropas. Then you just remove, you put it away, then again you wear another, until you get a perfect fitting jeans. Now when you do that to people, then it is very wrong. That's what I'm saying. If this is the basis, as we call it, because this is how the world will define to you what dating is. That you are going out, trying to assess the suitability of people. So you get this one? No. Doesn't match me. You get another one. And so as you continue, you realize it's like you're going to a shop and looking for a fitting pair of jeans and throwing them now because they don't match until you get a suitable one. I believe that when we are, we were taught how to start it right, and so that we can get it right, we must be sure of what we want. Don't start up a relationship if you are not ready to go with it all the way. Because what happens is, even that one who is not suitable later gets hurt. And because at the end of it, you are dealing with human hearts and human emotions. So, and that's what we talk about people having broken hearts. The broken hearts come because there is this heart which was given to somebody which was, when it was whole, then it is cut into pieces. So I believe as much as we think about dating, it is something that is borrowed, and if realized also has its own demerits, because in this way we are thinking, we are not ready. I mean, it's what people are saying is they're just trying. And as you try, then you realize in this assessing, people get hurt because they are not ready to move on to a relationship or a steady relationship. So maybe we ask ourselves now, what is now courtship? Now, courtship is deeper or even more intense than just dating, because when you are courting, you are not only assessing somebody, it is where now I think this is, I've already found or I have a suitable person. You take the next step as you are taught. You have already asked the person, can we move on our relationship to the fact that it would end up in marriage? So now, I know some people use the word going steady, but before you say you are going steady, that means you have asked the other person. Don't always assume. The assumption that we are relating, yet you have not told somebody your intentions, that is where now people end up breaking one another's hearts, or somebody just wants to opt out, yet they thought we were just having a good time. So we say, before you go to courting, you already, now you cannot court, or you may not be in courtship unless now this other person or both of you are in it together. We have agreed, we are moving on. That means there has been also a declaration. There could not be, it may not be that exotic, what you call in proposal and all that, but somebody has agreed that you're going to walk on together. You're moving this relationship towards the direction of marriage. It has the goal. So we are saying Christian courtship is the process where a man and a woman get to know each other, and by developing a deep friendship as they discern their readiness and God's will for marriage. So we are talking about people, they get to know each other as they develop a deep friendship or relationship. And this relationship is geared toward what?
Marriage.
Towards marriage. So as they get ready, or discern their readiness and God's will for marriage. So it is having a goal. So it has a direction. We are moving on as we know one another, and our direction is towards marriage. And so it's important, so that, as by the way, they say these are two words, where the ship would mean, when we talk about township, you know, it's more like within the boundaries. So we're talking about the ship is not simply the vessel. It is, when you talk about the township, the, you know, it's more like the jurisdiction or that environment, the boundaries. And that boundary is being taken through a court. When you talk about a court, is that limited part of like the trial. So you are taking a relationship in a process where it is within the boundaries of measuring and assessing it as it goes towards marriage. Are we together? So courtship is more deeper and more meaningful and more purposeful than just simply when people say we are dating, or sometimes people say we are going out. Now, you go out and that does not mean it's only towards marriage, but what people are calling dating is beyond the courtship, because it's sometimes even for others who are not, you know, have no Christian principles and all that, they even go try out and have, you know, sexual relations. You know, one of the, you know, the programs that had to be, you know, censored, because in trying to get a wife means you just like trying a pair of jeans. You are trying this one, you are with her in one night, and you say not a good wife. Then you are looking for wife material, and you are wearing people like jeans. And the next day you are dumping them, and you are saying that has another way. That's how to look for a wife. It is not. So that is not right. If there is any relation that has a goal in marriage and it is going to that direction, then that's when we talk about people are in courtship. Okay? Yes. So if there's any question, kindly you can ask it in the middle of a sentence, at the end of the sentence. So don't wait until there is a comma or there is a pause. You say, teacher? Yes, Mark.
Dating, is it biblical?
I don't think we can use the word biblical or unbiblical. There are things that they don't even exist. The word is not there in the Bible. Neither the same as the word when we're talking about the courtship. But we're talking about that duration as people prepare for marriage. Yeah? Maybe like the way we are talking about Joseph was betrothed to Mary. They were not married yet. And that's why it was an oddity or something that out of the ordinary, that Mary is expectant, yet they are not married, though they were betrothed. So that means there was a process where they had said, I have intention of marrying you at a particular time, okay? But for now, no one can come and say you belong to the person or you are going to that direction because you now belong to me. So as we prepare, we are preparing as we go together. So, but you know, the issue of dating is where now people think dating, you know, it can even start as early as people even when they are in school, teenagers, and people are going out. Or you find even in America where you find like a parent would even give a girl who is 16, 18 to be taken out for a date. And some traditions are different or cultures are different. But today, you realize in the African culture, what you're calling sometimes people going out for dates, it's not even dating. It is pure sexual immorality that goes on.
In fact, I wanted to say, in answer to his question, that when it comes to the issues of dating, it is actually cultural. It's something that is being borrowed from the West. Because when you go to the East, for example, I have two friends who never saw the person they were going to marry until during the wedding. Why? Because both of them are Christians, and they live here in Kenya, but their parents told them that, yes, you're going to marry a Christian, but from India. And they flew all the way to India, and the first time that they met the person who is their wives, several decades later, is on the wedding. The wedding was done in the evening, at night. So they met the person they were going to marry in the evening. So there was no dating, there was no courtship, there was no knowing this person. The person who selected the bride-to-be was the parents.
But
When it
with the
comes to
qualities, the fact that they were
yeah.
Christians,
Yes.
they looked for a Christian
Yes,
wife.
I can say that even to this day, they have grown children and they're still married. Because as much as we talk about these things, there is a cultural aspect about it. When we're talking about in African context, there was nothing like these issues of dating. When she was talking about us, there was nothing about, during our time, the issue at you are dating. You only got into a relationship to get married. You know, therefore, it was more of courtship. But now, with the influx of the Western culture, that is where dating and such issues are coming in.
But if we don't understand now the issue of dating, now we will take it worse than even the people who are practicing it, because we don't exactly know what to do. I can almost say when you are taking out somebody for you're interested in, and you're going out for coffee, we can say you are more like dating until now you decide I am going to propose. Okay? So when you propose now, you move from these casual relations of somebody you are taking out in prospects, but to the fact that now you have gone to courtship. Because in reality, I know this is what is happening. Is true or not true? So you find a young person interested with a young lady, ask out for, for a coffee tomorrow, and then you find tomorrow they are either somewhere taking a dinner and all that. But at the end of it, this dating should not be like you're wearing a trouser and dumping. For a Christian, should also be more focused. That this person you are saying you are going out or you are taking out some time together to, to be sure of that relationship, so that by the time you go to that other step where we said getting it right, now you're going now to propose, so that you move towards now the courtship period, you already know. But it will be evil or wrong if you just take it casually to the fact that today I am with so-and-so, and then you go tomorrow with another one. Now that's what I'm saying. If it goes to the extent you're like behaving, you're taking a pair of jeans and wearing and dumping, then that is not right. Have we understood up to there? Yeah. Okay. And so if you have any questions, you should ask. Now, when it comes now to issues now with the courtship, let's look at exactly what should be the basic foundations, two only, of that courtship. And I've repeated it, or we are repeating it. It should have the purpose of marriage. If you say you're in courtship, this is where now you start planning. When do we get married? When do we start going home and all that? Recently, just within this week, 2 young people came to our home, and because this is usually what we do. You are starting a relationship, or you have decided you are going now towards marriage, or you say, now this I can introduce is my friend. Then you come home, or you go to people that you call what you call the significant person. So they just came, and the first thing is they tell us we have decided, or we are in love, and we have accepted to be, in a relationship. And so the other thing that I remember my husband always asks is this: what is the direction of your relationship? Do you have any milestones? And they will come and say, yes, we have introduced her to my brother or my sister, or we have gone home for what they call the show up, or I have done this. And so the two have already even gone home. This means they already have the confidence. I can comfortably take this young man home and say, this is my friend. So if they start now, the next time we say we will be coming with Nawazeh, they already know whom I am bringing. The same way the lady has been taken to the young man's home. Amepata kuona mama na auntie and all that. Now this is where there is already confidence that this is the person I'm going on towards marriage. So the next thing we ask them, when is your prospective date of marriage? And they say, so from there you work with them and ask them about the steps they're going to take, because you also know what are the steps that they need. If there is dowry and all that, or negotiation before you have the wedding here, then the rest of the milestones, as we call it. So anytime if people are in a courtship, then there should be a direction. Whether it is in 2 years' time, let there be what we call the milestones. By this time, if it is this holiday, we are going to your home. The next holiday, we are going to, so that if there is a lot of time, space the activities, okay? So that you don't do everything. You have finished all the dowry this time. You have even gone for premaritus, and you are waiting to marry 2 years to come. You sure know you didn't plan well, okay? So pace the activities. If it is you have 2 years, then you can pace this holiday. But if you say you are going to marry in January, and you have not even gone home and all that, then you realize they will be very frequent, okay? So, well, I've said the foundation, one of the things is should be leading to marriage. The next one is, and this is biblical, is that you are relating with a believer. You have sought as, your relationship is a believer. And I want to say this because sometimes we keep asking for some options, wondering whether is it all like this, na Mungu akimuokoa, tunapedana, and all that. You are not the savior for now. Kama hajasikia injili saa hii, kwanza aisikie, aokoke. Wacha kusema ni wewe utamuokoa. See, we can get married and he gets saved. When the Bible talks about when you married an unbeliever, is when you are not saved or you are not a believer, and then you get saved and you have an unbeliever. That says you don't have to walk out, by your good actions and living a Christian life, Christian conduct, you may be able to, the person will see the light of the gospel. But you don't give yourself the assignment right now. The Bible is categorical. 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. And it asks, what fellowship does light have with darkness? But sometimes tunasema tunajua. Wengine Christians sometimes who are that we call it wishy-washy. Kamugumu kamoja kako dunia kidogo, kegine kako kwa siu. Okay? They keep trying on, and then they have seen this brother good with all those characteristics. Tall and handsome with abs. Six cubes or 6 packs. 6 cubes in 1 pack, or 6 packs in 1 cube. I have never known which one is inside, the cube or the packs. Now, whichever, and maybe has those abs and all that, and looks financially stable. I keep saying, I hope he's mentally stable. Now, you get all that, and you realize, kitu kidogo tu ni vile hajaokoka, lakini huwa anakuja siyu. Now, I want to say this, and I keep saying, that kama umeshindwa kupapasa kapusi ile unapata nyumbani, na sasa umeamua kwenda kupapasa the lion, it's all right. I wish you the best. Okay? Yes. Sometimes what you see is not what you get. So, but the Bible is clear on this. Seek a believer or a believing mate. Now, how do you conduct yourself in the time of courtship? What should be the business, or what is happening when we are there? Now, I believe you're not only alone, because we say once you already know where you're going, like those young people who came home, we already know so and so are in a relationship. Are we together? So I believe that one of the things that should be known, as we said, is get an accountability person or even couple. People that know that you are related. You can go there in the evening and say, we want to know, how do we do about this? People who can help you how to organize, whether you are going for dowry, what do you expect, what, if I need, which steps do I need? So the first thing you need is, you need to involve somebody, what you call an accountability couple, who can help you along. Then, as not only the couple, but I believe also as young people, as you are relating, you are not only together, you also have other friends that know you are relating. Your best friend, because before you get engaged, you had a friend, isn't it? Who knows? The same the lady, and that's why sometimes when you say, when you go for show-ups, when you are visiting the guy's side, carry along, if it's a girl, go with a Afraid, a girlfriend, isn't it? The young man who said the tu peke yako solo hivi, you get another young man. Or two, I believe those are your friends who already know and have accepted you are relating. They are not jealousy of you, okay? So wale watakuja wako naweka some chumvi or wongo or some things that even would affect your relationship. So I believe that's what you are looking. So you are involving others, you are not going alone. Why? Because it's important that there's somebody who can tell you, check on this. You know, some of those red flags, we say, you may not see them, but your friends may see them. So you are there and you are talking and there is this person who keeps shouting at you or belittling you or your ideas. Your friend will tell you, by the way, why does he answer to you like that? Why does she do like that? Why does she always embarrass you before your friends and all that? In that way, it makes you think, where is this relationship going? Because in that way, you already can see the red flags. It's important you have a friend who is so genuine with you. Will tell you, anyway, I think this relationship, maybe you need to take either to go slow or take a break. Why? Because as you try the boundaries of this relationship, you can see whether it is going to stand. So that in case it is not heading to marriage, then the next step is where you can see whether you can edit and edit well. Okay? This is not marriage yet. It is, we are trying it or within the boundaries as we go towards marriage. But in case you realize things are not working, it's all right. We are clear on there? Up to there? Yes, please don't be so solemn. You can ask questions. Don't think it is so serious. Now, in the courtship, that is the conduct during courtship is, we say no exercising of marital privileges. None of them. The marital privileges remain solely for marriage. Which are these marital privileges? Yes, which are these marital privileges? Let me hear. Yes? Yes. No, nothing, no sex. Na hata si ya ile ya kutoa magada nje, ati unasema na tukiguzaguza tupipapasa nje, si ni vile tu hatuja kura ya ndani. Even that one. You try it, you know the Bible asks, well, can somebody qualify in his his body and not be burned? Oh, why don't you just, why unwrap the package? You know, all that you have done is that tuja angalia ndani ya umeshatoa mpaka za nje and all that. Now get the package as it is packed. My friend, okay, Mark, get the privilege of removing the first button and the zip after you are told you have given all the power to do all that pertains to that certificate. Okay? Wacha kujaribu. Because we say you spoil the surprise and the fun. Surprise, what is surprise? Na kila kitu uliona. What was the surprise? What were you waiting for? So no marital privileges. Any other? Yes?
Cohabiting.
Yes, cohabiting. You don't live together because we are planning. Some people even have done this. Now we are going to get married. Why do should we pay rent? Hii pesa tunaweza save.
For the wedding.
For the wedding. We can save. So why don't you just move? I have one extra room. You can be in that room. But I want to tell you, many know. They don't know how shetani anakujaga. Yo karumu anatoka padio na ingine. Anyway, it has always been a story. We thought, we did it. We didn't expect. But you can't go into that territory and you know the specialist who lives there. Okay? Yeah, somehow your bed becomes very cold. You can't get warm. Okay? And somebody is like, it is warmer on the other side. Okay. So it's important. So any other privilege? Marital privilege? Caris.
Kissing.
Eh?
Kissing.
Yeah, those kissings. Why don't you have the best first kiss? You know, when you get here, you know, the pastor says now you can kiss the bride. Okay? You can do that now. You prepare, you have all your... Again, if you have kissed every frog, you don't even know what would be the surprise there. Yeah, there is just people just try out things with everyone. You will never know the surprise and the joy of doing it right, okay? It is not about practice. Practice makes perfect. You kiss a frog and you kiss a panya and all that, and you tell me you have learned the art.
Somebody actually said that it is true. Practice makes perfect. So practicing sin makes you a perfect sinner.
Yes, yes. That, yes. Any other privileges? Yeah, that intense hugging.
Yeah.
The hugging that goes even to exploration. Unajua, kuna vile mikono inaendelea.
There is hugging and hugging.
There is a hugging and a hugging. We know that one. There is that one, yeah, even that one of the courage in Kogo, you know, inaendaga Kogo, hii ni sawa. Lakini kuna ingine inaenda mpaka unasikia mikono, hata ukisema hallelujah, si hallelujah. Haikuwagi hallelujah ya ile ya ati ni roho unasikia, ni mwili inaamka. Nacheza tu. Hiyo ka feeling inaendelea inakuwa zaidi. Any other? What about some of these privileges? They may be looking like they may not be as intense as that one. But hii ya kuoshewa nguo. You are in a relationship. Unaona mjamaa anatoka Nairobi na bag. Si ati amebeba mkate, nguo zake chafu because you are relating. Anakuletea umuoshe. Na kwa sababu sasa unafikiri is that right? No. Yes, let him wash his that. Yeah, you may be in a relationship and even the same way. And some of these privileges where, again I say, where it comes to where you almost giving people mtu majukumu. Kama unanipenda, nipe mpesa ya saruni. Jamaa usifanyiwe hivyo. And if she tells you wachana na yeye, let her take of that hair the way she has known. Kama ni mafuta tu, ni sawa. Si lazima ende karanga, boiro or fry. If she doesn't have that money for now, because I think you've loved her the way she is. I know, in a way, please don't be, what you call it, you know, manipulated to almost now take the responsibility of taking care of her or him, yet she's already not your wife. Okay? She needs money for the nywele. If she cannot, she can ask the mother. Okay?
Now, let me ask.
You don't pay even...
There are some guys who have been asked to pay rent. Others, ni hiyo ya dating ulikuwa ukisema.
Yes.
And then, sijui kama umesikia hii msemo ya kwamba amekula fare. You keep sending fare for you to meet.
To meet.
What is your comment on that?
Now, that is now where I'm saying some of these, we go beyond, and so they become transactional. So that in case the relationship has an issue or it has a problem, there is so much you have invested. Amekula fare. Kila saa anakula fare. Na kama si fare, pengine hata umemlipia fees. Hata ukiangalia hivyo unasema, unajua kati nilimwona alikuwa amechakaa kama kachokora. Saa hii angalia vile anakaa.
Alikuwa na matuta.
Anakuwa na matuta. Alikuwa tu na matuta. So now that she has known how to go to manicure, pedicure and all that, amepata. So that's why mjamaa anasema uniachi. Do you realize? Because it was transactional. If what you can afford, please do it. And I know sometimes we don't want to resist these gifts, but not the way somebody's almost taking over the responsibility that should have been for your parents or what you should do before you get married. After that, akitaka uende hiyo beauty parlor na akupeleke na alipe ni wewe sasa uko kwake. Okay? But before that, let there not be those transactions. Those are very serious for now, because sometimes they come even as demands. If you want me, you have to do this. You spruce me up, you know? Yeah. You have a question? Yes?
Yeah, maybe to speak for ladies. What happens where you're in a courtship or a relationship with someone who you actually don't ask for anything from him, but he's always willing to buy you gifts and treat you, you know. Yeah, that quotes and quotes. Yeah. So, and maybe he's this kind of person whom, when you refuse the gifts or you try to decline, he's like, why? Yeah, and he thinks you are even cheating, or you just, why don't you want his things, and you say you love him. So what do you do in such a scenario?
I only would wish, I would be very careful with those gifts if that's what he's using to win me. Okay? I hope he's not in a competition that he's trying to win me over so that another one will not. Because if he asks whether I am getting or I'm seeing another person, he's already in a competition. Now, that means he's not even assured of your love. I would be very comfortable to tell him, okay, it's all right, I'm not used to this. For now, this is what I would accept. And it's all right. And you tell him if you have assured him of your love. Because you see, again, we ladies, sometimes we reach to that place where we almost like a commodity. A commodity that has to be, it's like you have a painting here. You paint it, and you look at it, is good. Now, because you are here and all you think, this guy loves me because of the money he's ready to spend on me. Now, he spends that money on you, you sure know you'll be more like a commodity that has been bought. Sometimes he doesn't even want to care whether you have ideas or you have any, things that you like or you don't like, but it is more about him and what he gives you. And if you refuse, he wonders whether you love. I think if there is any gifting, also it should be, we say mutual. It should not be only one way. If it is mutual, then that is agreed. But if it is only you showing me and because you think I have, I'm giving you, you are my lady, then see, that comes, and at a time when it comes and realizes it is more of your commodity. When it comes to issues of even loathing, will loathe you more than the gifts he has given you.
I think I would want to say something concerning that. One I find a level of insecurity. When you refuse and then this person says that, are you seeing somebody else? That in itself shows that he's doing those things because he's insecure.
True.
And wants to win you over. I think there is need for communication that it is not what you give me that makes me love you.
Yeah.
I love you the way you are.
Yeah.
That I think is critical. Number two, I think when somebody has invested so much, that is why ile ukiachwa achika, that is why it becomes very hard. Because somebody has been, and as you rightly said, the relationship was not transformational. It was transactional. And because it was transactional, I was giving you this to get this. And now you want to go away with my investment. I've invested so much of time and resources on you.
Yes.
So you cannot walk away. And that is a relationship, even if it ends up in marriage, that might end up into either psychological or physical abuse.
Because there is that part where it is me who has made you who you are now. Okay? If it was not for me and what I have bought you and how I've bruised you up, this would not have been your value. It's very dangerous. So check out on that. You have a question, Stephen?
Yeah.
Yes.
There is something that they usually mention, boring relationships. You know, they say that I'm not bored with this relationship.
Yes.
Now, what advice can you give to the youth in order to make this relationship like a fresh relationship, like square and kama imebo, yeah, in this age, not especially at the working age?
Inakbo wakati mwingine kama haina direction, or sometimes you started too early, then you ran out of steam. You know, you didn't know you were going for a marathon, so you sprinted the first 1 kilometer. The other one, you don't even know how to continue because it has no milestones. Like what I was saying, you don't know that from here to here we are waiting to go here, from here to here this is where we are going. So what happens when it becomes boring, unless now you go back again, both of you, to the drawing board. Where are we taking this relationship? What is the direction? Okay? Are we heading to marriage or what do we do? And that is now where you go to the next step, when and how to quit. It's all right if you realize it is not heading anywhere. Because I said you don't have to crawl for 5 years. If you can't wake up and run, then that is retarded. It's a retarded relationship, and so it becomes boring. So don't arouse love before it pleases. That's what Songs of Songs says. I beseech you, daughters of Jerusalem, and maybe sons of Jerusalem, don't arouse love until it pleases, until you are ready. When you feel like I want to be in a relationship and I want to go to marriage, please enjoy the fellowship of one another, just like the mauas. See the mauas, don't pluck. Okay? Ona nguo kwa Kenyatta Avenue, ni smart, hiyo kasuit. You don't go in and start trying na huna pesa. We jiende, angalia, zipende all the way of Kenyatta Avenue. Unasema nguo ni smart, nguo ni smart. Ukipata pesa, ingia. Exodus, nataka ile, va, toa pesa, eda nayo. You are ready. You understand, Mark? Yes, no, but it's all right to admire. They are nice, okay? Yes, so as we come to the end, the other one is this. You are going to keep setting boundaries or set boundaries and keep reviewing them, because that is very important. Not only the boundaries, but also the goals. So you set the boundaries and the goals, and you have to keep revising them. You have to ask ourselves how far we are on this, how well are we doing, how bad are we doing, because we have said we are going to kiss the first kiss at the altar, but then there's somebody who always said kamoja tu good night. Now you have to remind one another, what did we say? Because you allow it, then another one ni ile gamia ya Mwarabu inaenda mkuu mkono, unajikuta gamia iko ndani, wewe ndio uko nje. So that's why it's very important. Keep and then the goals. Where are we heading? What did we say? So you don't keep saying, no, we said we are going to marry in 2021. No, 2022. Then ikifika 22, hapana, 2023. Then there must be sit back and realize you need to, so that it keeps focus, so that you already have. As the Bible says, you know, hope deferred makes the heart sick. Proverbs 13. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. But when it comes to be, it is a tree of life. You love it, you enjoy it, that you had a hope. It was never being deferred every other day. It has come and reached to the fact that it has become a fruitful tree that all of you are enjoying. So, and as you enjoy the relationship, as you quote, make sure that your goal is also to enrich one another spiritually, physically, what else? Even careerly, okay? As you wait to get married, each one of you grows in every way. You are enriching one another spiritually, emotionally, socially, as you quote, so that you get to that time when we are all together. As we keep remembering Ecclesiastes 12 verse 1, young man, enjoy your youth. But, yes, but remember, for everything God will bring you to judgment.
I wanted to ask this question.
Yes.
And you have already alluded to it when you are mentioning boundaries. What happens when there are conflicts in the courtship?
Now, when we have conflicts in the courtship, is now again to look at what were objectives. So that in this case, in case the courtship is not working, you are not both going towards marriage, then you can decide to edit. And it is all right to edit if you have realized you are not going to marriage. I know of a relationship that even ended when there was even some dowry negotiations. Why? You have already gone for dowry and somebody is saying, I'm not ready. When are you going to get ready? I'm not ready. And then you push, and they push, and they push, and the other one is ready to get married. So, kuna moja aliachwa kwa mataa, ile mnasema mataa. Now, not knowing what will happen to the dowry, and it's already paid. But the young man walked out, went, alitoka na akaenda na akaedaga kabisa. The next time I heard there was a wedding. Because he realized I wanted to move on to the next step of marriage, but somebody always wanted here. Unakaa kwa gari, huchuki, tumefika Kisumu. Tulipadia SGR, lakini tumefika hutaki, unasema, hapana si turudi Mombasa. Unaingia mnarudi, ni wakati wa kushuka. Unasema, hapana si tushukie hiyo next stage. Na ukifika hapo wewe, kama umeamua, shuka stage, achana naendelee kwa hiyo ride, atachoka. Thank you. I don't know whether we have any one burning question. Okay, thank you so much. I believe now we realize why we need to be very serious, yeah? And in that way, we realize anytime we are in a relationship, let's work towards it, marriage. And in case you realize it's not going there, and you prayed about it, you have tried, and it has not seemed to be moving. I've said, don't crawl for 5 years, 2 years. You cannot move. If it's not moving, then you can decide to call it quits. And you know how we can do it, because we've learned about it. So thank you. See you in the next lesson. And my viewers, I believe, as you are listening, you're also understanding why we need to be very serious when we are moving into the stage of courtship. Thank you. God bless.
Stay tuned for the next lesson of the Marriage Classroom to learn about premarital counseling. To get the notes of today's lesson, visit www.mbcimedia.com/TMC. Catch the repeat of this episode every Tuesday at 10 p.m.